The first thing I want to share is what it's like to live in a little hamlet. And you know, it's windy here. And it is possible that somebody's letter has gotten out of their car and comes floating by you. And of course you would pick it up, because that would be, you know, littering otherwise. But would we read what's in that? No, because we already know that about you anyway. So, you know, if you don't want to be well known, don't move to a hamlet. Don't move to a rural community, because those neighbors are not only your friends, they're your insurance policy. And so living in a small town brings closeness and awareness. I want to tell you how some things go in a community. In the 1950s, we had a derailment in Exshaw. We've had 3 derailments. This was one of them. And it was boxcars, 3 boxcars. And they derailed, and the merchandise in the boxcars was somewhat damaged. And the thing is that the CPR, to get their insurances, then has to dig a hole and bury that cargo in the ground, and then the insurance becomes payable. Well, one of those boxcars was loaded with alcohol. Cases and cases of alcohol. Some of it was broken, terrible waste. But a lot of it was quite intact. And I want you to know our citizens buried that very carefully. And when the train was gone and when the CPR police were away, we exhumed it even as carefully as we had buried it. And what's the motto in Exshaw? We may bury bodies here, but never spirits. We handle spirits differently. And so there's a history of small stories, all of which add up to an interesting context which makes living meaningful. And I think you can come here. And there is room for your individual character. People don't interfere with each other particularly. There is room to be yourself and do your own thing. There is room to be known in as much as you want to be known, and to be private in as much as you need to be private. But I think there's a warmth and a context and a nurturing because of our affinity with nature that is not achievable in a downtown major city. So if you want to live here, or you need to be here, you can come here and live well. And I encourage, I know that our communities are inviting, and I know that they're really safe. If somebody's around here, my neighbors know they're around here, and they know they don't usually see those people. They're all watching. So I hope that if somebody burglarizes this home, that they get in here and somebody's phoned the police, and I hope that the train's across the railway tracks. You know, I think we have many things that we receive and enjoy every day without adding them up in order to be, in a global sense, as thankful as perhaps we should be. We tend to look at something external that isn't quite right and gnarl at it. And then we're taking our happy quotient and turning it into a sad quotient. And I think that we need to live here and know why we live here.